Hello, everybody. Welcome to 911.
The podcast that St. Helena didn't know it needed.
This is Hillary.
And this is Chris. And thanks for joining us on 911 Podcast.
Chris, guess what?
What, Hillary?
Our episodes have officially hit double digits.
We're at number 10.
Yay!
And what a perfect way to hit number 10 to have. Would you like to introduce our friends?
Guests. Yes.
Go for it.
We have Chelsea and Todd. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do?
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for coming.
We do a few things. We just got married, so now our last name is Golper, which is a big transition for me. But I think I'm going to be Chelsea Hoff Golper, so I can try and keep the last name.
Keep the Hoff name.
Yeah,
Dig
in
it.
the middle, maybe.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast today, guys.
Yeah.
We've come up with a new tagline, and I think it's appropriate that we bring it out on the 10th episode.
I think we debut it on
We
this
debut
episode.
it, that this is the podcast that St. Helena didn't know it needed.
That is 100% correct.
Do they want it? Probably not either, but they definitely didn't know they needed it.
They definitely
But
needed
it's
it.
turned into a need now, not a want.
It's a niche market.
It is
it's a
niche.
need.
It's definitely a niche market.
It's an important place to be.
And everyone in this town can relate to it.
Yeah. So thanks for being the double digits with us.
Yeah,
We
thanks
appreciate
for
it.
hosting
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So you brought some delicious wine for us to enjoy.
Yes, I started Fearless in 2016. So I'm not a St. Helenian, but I went,
But you've been here a while.
yeah.
We met, you were, I was going to say probably in high school?
Yeah. Well,
You
freshman
moved
Probably
here-
before
Yeah,
that.
freshman year.
Yeah, I moved here in 07. So I'm originally from Minnesota. I moved here in 07. Went to high school at St. Helena all 4 years. So we knew each other then.
Mhm.
Played lots of tennis.
We're practically the, what are those sisters? The,
The Williams sisters.
thank you.
Absolutely not.
We
I
were
don't
really
think,
good at eating the snacks on the sidelines.
Yeah, I don't know if Russell, was it Russell?
Russell, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a big fan of me, but
We
I tried really hard.
And we looked cute in our dresses.
Yeah, I looked really good in that skirt.
That's an important thing.
I only played sports that you can wear a skirt in, like cheerleading, tennis. Those are for me.
See,
And 90% of it is just looking cool.
I only played sports with a net between me and my opponent because I think
There
the
you go.
general consensus was that's safer for everyone.
Volleyball.
Exactly.
But yeah, so moved here, lived here. Obviously, we took viticulture in high school, which is ridiculous when I tell people that, but only in St. Helena, right? I took it twice. I took it once as a sophomore because I wanted to be in class with my brother. He was 2 years older than me, and they only let juniors and seniors in that class, and I was like, I want to take one class with him. So I took that class, and then I did really well in it. But then I took it again because I had so much fun. And so, anyways, then I went to Davis and studied viticulture enology, and then
And you grew up around wine too once you
Yeah.
guys moved here.
yeah, when we moved here, my parents bought a vacation home. And I thought like, oh, Parent Trap movie, like this is gonna be fabulous. I was like California, Orange County, beach life. And then I moved here, and I was like, "This is not the beach. I'm raising sheep now, Dad." Like,
You mean St. Helena's not Laguna Beach?
yeah, I was like, "This is not Orange
show?
County. I'm like FFA raising sheep now. This is not
epic.
what I had planned."
So from the Midwest to Napa, how was that like transition?
It was actually great. I loved going to high school at St. Helena.
Mm-hmm.
I revolted when I found out I had to move. I was like a competition dancer back at home, so I was like, I'm not moving. I do not want to go live in this small town. And then I moved, and then it was, I don't know, it was really fun. I think it was such a small, the thing that's cool about St. Helena High, at least, is that you have all the perks of this public school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's so small, and so you also have all the perks of almost like a private school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a really perfect little storm. It was great.
I feel like your family did such a good job too. When you moved here, you just like immersed yourself in St. Helena culture.
Oh, we immersed ourselves. Like I didn't
Like in the best way. It's not like you
stay.
guys came here and were like, oh, we need to change this.
Yeah.
How some newcomers do. You guys really just like embraced the town for what it was and like fit right in.
Yeah, I think so. And my dad like got really involved, and so did I, and so did Taylor. So I think, and so did my mom. So yeah, we all kind of, they love this little town. They like saw the town, and they were like, we want to raise our kids here, and then decided to move. So they purchased a winery and a vineyard, and we moved, and it was a vacation home they purchased in 2003. So it was a vacation home for a while, and then we moved in 2007. And then, I kind of grew up, like, helping with bottling, during harvest and certain things, and I loved wine. I, like, already loved art because I was a dancer and things, but I also loved science.
Cool.
So I thought, well, this is perfect for me. It's a good little match. And when I was young, I used to, like, blend random soaps and lotions and things and, like, put them under my counter to age.
Yeah,
Super
you think this girl
weird.
wasn't destined to be a winemaker.
So your folks were obviously into
So,
wine before,
yeah.
and then like instilled
Yeah.
a little bit of that into you. Yeah.
Yeah, they both were business executives, and I only saw them, like, during dinner time. We'd have wine and talk, and
Cool.
at a young age, just, I'd get to smell it and appreciate it, and so that was sort of our family time together, so wine became a really big part of our family.
That's awesome.
Then, I got into Cornell and Cal Poly and Davis, and I couldn't decide, like, where to go, and I visited all of them, and I think Davis, like, sort of blew my mind.
So was there a winery there already when your folks bought the property?
Yeah,
on Stone
there was.
Mountain, or-
So they just put the first wine in a bottle. Wow. So they'd planted it all these years, waited, made the wine, went in bottle, and not one bottle had been sold yet.
Wow. You guys picked it up from
And
there.
so my parents purchased the property.
That's a fantastic start.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then made a whole new label and
Nice.
changed it all up. So that is Fantasca.
Cool. And then did you get to experiment there while you were in Davis or help out at the
Yeah,
winery?
I would come home and like
Cool.
help out doing bottlings and
Yeah.
doing like harvest things and
Nice.
taking bricks and temp and being the little cellar rat running around.
Well, I'm sure we'll touch on this later when you take us through your wine. But
Yeah.
you've also had internships like everywhere around the world,
Yeah, so
which
then
you've
after-
incorporated now, like in your wine.
Exactly,
Here.
exactly. So after Davis, between my junior and senior year, I was like, I'm gonna go to Italy. Actually, Davis was like, anyone want to get away for the summer? And I was like, me. And they were like, there's an internship in Italy. So I went there. The first word I learned in Italian was muffa, which means mold. So it was a very different experience from Davis. It was not very like clean or technical. It was a lot of like my grandpa's grandpa did this, and this is what we do here. So it was awesome experience. So I made wine in Italy, and I did my senior year, and then I moved to France. I lived there for like 7 months. I worked at Chateau Smith et Lafitte in Bordeaux.
I'll brag for it a little bit. She was the first American in 15 years to get a chance to work there.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I learned a lot. It was the hardest internship I ever had, I think.
That's phenomenal.
But also was like the most learning I ever had.
Yeah.
And then after that, I moved to Australia and I lived there for like 9 months, and I didn't want to leave. And my dad finally called me and he was like, harvest is starting here. It's August here. You need to come home. Like, you can't move to Australia. I'm sorry, but like, that's nice that you think you're gonna live there, but
The guilt trip.
yeah, like, time to come home. You can always go back. I was like, okay. So I came home. Thank God I did. I worked harvest that year, actually at Fantasca under Heidi, and then I met Todd. So that worked out for me. Good thing I came home.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you guys are thinking of coming to St. Helena, and we were kind of talking about before how you think this log makes you even more like want to come to St. Helena from Napa proper. So is that because like it's a reassurance of like our crime here is, you know?
Well,
The best indication of this is from June, I guess technically, is it June 30th? No, sorry, June 3rd at midnight. That says, a large group of people were gathering at Safeway, and an officer made sure everything was okay.
right? That's what
So
an
if you don't want to
officer-
raise your family in an environment that you know is going to be safe, I don't know what else to tell you.
So yeah, we're covering the
I'm sorry
June,
that large groups of people were at Safeway. I can't help it.
the June 2020 and then also June 2006, just because.
I like it.
So this is still June COVID edition, but with a slight, we were kind of opened up
Yeah.
in June.
No, it was, and then it kind of closed a little bit more. But we're socially distancing outside, so that's cool. Speaking of COVID,
Go
are you having
for it.
COVID?
No, you
Okay.
go for it.
And 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the 23rd of June, an officer checked in on the COVID-19 testing site on College Avenue. That's fun.
That was nice.
Which was promptly ruined by a caller saying on Spring Street that their neighbor had just threatened to shoot their dog.
Oh dear.
so all the excitement at the COVID site turned quickly into a very scary situation on Spring
I
Street.
feel like this one was kind of jolly.
Let's hear it.
At 10 p.m. on Wednesday, June 10th, there was a report of a suspicious man who was singing, shining a light, and possibly growling on Howell Mountain Road. Singing, shining a light, and growling. Possibly growling. It was only possible. That could have been like the local bobcat. The jury's still out. But,
You know what? Good for him.
yeah, 10:20 on a Wednesday. What else are you going to do?
Oh my god.
You could go light some fireworks off because later that night on the 23rd at 10:30, 10:40, 10:50, fireworks were heard on the east side of town near Pope Street. Then fireworks were heard outside the city limits from Boyson Lane. And then more flashes of fireworks were seen in West St. Helena, possibly near Spring Mountain Road. No idea who that could have been. But anyway, there was like a firework war going on. Maybe they were like launching back and forth between each other.
Yeah,
That's
competition. Who's got the best
Have you ever
fireworks.
heard the stories of like the neighbor will be really loud at night and the one neighbor gets upset, so the next morning they wake up like 6 a.m. and start like vacuuming and like harassing
Or using
yeah.
using an unregistered or illegal leaf blower
Yes.
in St. Helena.
So this guy
Capital
on
crime.
Tuesday morning at 8:11 report of a man yelling at Lewis Station Park. And then we have another one at 8:20 report of a man yelling outside the gas station at Main Pope. I feel like he was a little irritated about something that happened the night before. And he just decided to take it out that morning.
Probably.
You know what? I could see why he'd be upset, and that would explain why a suspicious man started carrying a long metal pole down the middle of Main Street at noon that same day.
What kind of metal pole is this? Like a flagpole?
Are we sure it wasn't like a blind person?
It's a legit question.
legit
It is a
question.
legitimate question.
I mean,
Looking angry.
Okay.
Yes, wait, I forgot the description.
Never
Yes.
mind.
A man carrying a long pole down Main Street looking very angry.
I need to
But-
know, like, what type of pole is
maybe a
this
flag
pole?
fell off of it. They were marching.
More
Well,
specifics, please.
Yeah, we need more specifics. If the
There-
dispatch
We
is
know he
listening
was
to
angry.
They're really good at animal specifics. So a cute dog, a furry dog, a fun-loving dog.
poodle-like dog.
But when it comes to metal
Poodle-like.
stakes, we need,
No
we need some
description.
improvement.
Yeah.
You know, when you read these police blogs or these blotters here, it's very easy to fall in love with a place that has these types of events.
It's pretty impressive. And especially when drinking wine, you can't go wrong. So what's the first wine we're drinking here, Chelsea?
So the first wine in the lineup is the Rosé. It was the very first one I came out with. My first vintage was 2016. And while the other vintages were in barrel, this is my Fearless brand. I have a few different things that I work on. I just started a brand in Spain called Lojas.
Oh,
So
What's
I'm the
Lojas mean?
winemaker there. Lifestyle of health and sustainability.
Cool.
So it's like a $16 bottle of wine. So super affordable. But of course in Spain everything is like hand harvested, organic, and they're able to produce that.
The vineyards have been there for decades and decades.
Totally. And so they're just these old vines, gorgeous, like bobal, just amazing indigenous varietals. And so it's really cool the amount of value that they're able to really put into these wines. Because here, how much would that cost for us to produce something like that?
Just a touch more.
Just a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit more. So it's pretty fun to work on.
Just a
and
pinch.
So I was there in December, and then I was there in February, and now with COVID, I haven't been back. So I'm glad I went in February. I put the blends together in February. So
Cool. And then you're vinifying, bottling, everything there, and
everything's
shipping.
in Spain,
Yeah.
and Sweden right now. And so
Cool.
right now I'm working with like the coolest to try and bring it here. But it's always
That's gotta be challenging.
It's always a
Yeah.
project. Yeah.
enough dealing with.
It's a big hit in Norway and Sweden, though.
Totally. It's been super fun. I think it's really great to have a low alcohol wine. It's like 11% alcohol, so super friendly, no sugars. My wines are similar here with Fearless. There's no RS, no residual sugar. I ferment them completely dry because who needs a headache? Not me.
Well, the rosé is awesome. It's so crisp and like really
Thank you.
tasty. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, the Fearless is super fun. The rosé is beautiful. The bottle, it's sort of this like Provençal. It was inspired by a perfume bottle, but just it's a really sexy bottle. I wanted it to have like curves and have this like Beyonce sort of
little
look.
feminine look.
Yeah. So
How'd you find that? I mean, is it something you custom made
it's
really for this?
custom made. It has like this floor top that I wanted. But to fit Fearless, like I wanted it to be sexy and stand out. So the rosé is 100% Grenache. The vineyard is in Amador, so some like it hot, but rosé likes it hotter. Grenache loves heat, so that's why it's in Amador. It's obviously really hot in Amador. So, yeah, it's 100% Grenache.
And the label is super cool too.
Thank you.
So the font you have on there, how did you make that font?
Yeah, so we had it went through a lot of renditions of this label, and we decided to pick the one that was hand sketched. So you can see like the F is really strong and it goes down. And it has a cross through it, so it almost looks like a sword. So it's supposed to be really very like strong brand.
Strong, passionate, zealous, like all the words that you would connotate with fearless, right? Or have it related to. So
sweet. Yeah, it makes a statement. It's cool.
Yeah.
Especially put that bottle down. It's like it's heavy, but it's also elegant too. So
Thank
well
you.
done. Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's a good marketing tool too.
Yeah, to see
because
something
it like
different.
catches your eye. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. We talk about it all the time. It's, for people that aren't from Napa Valley. Like, I'm from Southern California. I didn't grow up drinking a ton of wine. So when you go to a store, or if you just look at a wine bottle, for the people who don't drink a lot of wine but still want to be involved with it, they look at it and look at a name and a brand, right? They look at a bottle and say, oh, that actually looks interesting or enticing. So it is very important to have the aesthetic appeal from a business standpoint, where you want something that's going to draw your, the person who's buying your wine in to identify with the brand.
Well, I mean, we've definitely done that here, bringing tourists in to our wineries but they sometimes end up in the police log too.
Like this one on Monday, June 29th at 6:40 in the morning. Report of a man walking in the Elm Tunnel wearing only slippers and underwear.
Do we think that was a local or a tourist?
Oh, that's a local.
That's a local.
But go ahead with
Do
your
you
tourist.
do you have any name suggestions of locals that could possibly be?
Ooh,
I've got a bunch.
it wasn't me.
No, okay.
Fair enough.
That was my first.
Fair enough.
Well, it says man, so I think that was our giveaway. In 2006, winery employees at Whitehall Lane report 2 intoxicated males who took the dartboard from the tasting room and left the area in an unknown direction.
They obviously were looking for a good time and they found it.
Can't believe it.
Do you think that's how the dartboard ended up at Anna's?
I think they probably went south for Ponches.
That would be an incredible story.
Yeah. We were just telling Todd before the recording that he needs to at least see Ponches for once.
Yes.
It's an impressive place.
It's an eclectic establishment.
It's scary. It's a scary facility.
The chairs are amazing, though. The chairs in there are incredible.
Do you Lysol your pants after you sit in them?
You know what? It's got some character, apparently.
If you sit in one and it doesn't break, then life is it's good.
It builds character, right?
It does.
Yeah, that's a yes. Yes, it does.
Well, at least if I come out of there, maybe I'll be like the guy on Thursday, June 18th, of a drunk man walking around looking for his keys on Main Street.
What time was that?
That was actually, let's see, 5:52 in the
morning?
afternoon, evening.
Oh, and he was looking
Wow.
for his... He had
Starting off early.
He had a good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
He had I'm glad he didn't find his keys, though. A white truck and trailer were hauling porta potties on the southbound Silverado Trail named Pope Street. But the doors of the porta potties kept opening and their contents were spilling out. Police notified CHP. The car following them too just got a wash, and now they just have
Shit.
stool
All
all over that
Man.
windshield.
Oh my god.
But that's tend to be a common theme, because Saturday, June 13th, there was a report of significant sewage leak in front of the former City Hall building on Main Street. Guess who they notified?
Public Works.
Of course.
Hashtag thanks Public Works.
So that's our poop rendition of the episode, everyone.
Chenin Blanc, what does Chenin Blanc mean to you,
I feel
Hillary?
like I had a little like rave moment last episode. Like I got really excited about the Chenin Blanc, all because of your Chenin Blanc, Chelsea. Like you're the one that turned me on to it, and I just got really excited, and I was like, whoa. So I'll let you talk about it, so I don't,
Thanks.
overdo it
Thanks,
again.
Hill.
The word Chenin brings it on.
So Chenin,
It's like a festive word,
Yeah.
right? You just want to like shimmy.
there used to be 2,000 acres planted in Napa Valley of Chenin Blanc. So it used to be the most predominant grape varietal in Napa. And it all got ripped out and planted to Cabernet, obviously. Made sense for the farmers, made sense for everyone else. So now there's only 16 acres of Chenin left in Napa,
In all of Napa?
in all of Napa.
Wow.
So I waited on a little wait list. I finally got my hands on a little bit of this Chenin, actually from St. Helena.
Wow.
So it comes just across the street. I could probably dirt bike from the Fantasca property
I
down
was
to
gonna say,
this
you can
vineyard.
see it from like your parents' house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, even more special.
Yeah, so it's super easy for me to visit. I think as a winemaker, like 99% of your job, like the biggest thing that you do and the thing that really is going to set your vintage apart is your pick decision. If you make a good pick decision, right, then you don't have to do a lot. You just pick the grapes, you bring them in, you make it into wine, you add a little sulfur, you add a little yeast, and hopefully that's it. You don't have to add water or acid or tweak it and really like use all the tools in your toolkit to fix it if you make the right pick decision. So
Cool.
for me, I think that's the biggest part of winemaking. So this wine's super pure, didn't have to add any water, didn't have to add any acid, didn't have to do anything. So
Nice.
went
And what'd you
out
pick
there.
it at, Burks wise?
It was like 23-ish.
Do you want to tell our listeners what Brix is?
Yes, it's a measure of soluble solids. So basically the sugar content. So if in like a grape, right, the amount of soluble solids is like 99% sugar. So it's when you take a density measure of that, it's a pretty good indication of what the sugar levels are in your wine.
It's what I avoid in diabetes.
There you
Yes.
go. There you go.
That's fantastic. That was a really good description of bricks. Wow. I always say it's sugar, but
That's-
that was
yeah.
the actual.
That's the like Davis
Yeah,
description.
that's
There you go.
phenomenal.
The Davis comes out of you sometimes.
I like it. That's
Well,
really cool.
and I think too, residents with so much planting going around us and knowing how important the planting is, they get extra concerned. Like on Sunday, June 14th, a Rosebud Lane resident asked her rights regarding the plants in front of her apartment.
What kind of plants was she planting?
Obviously vineyards, she wanted to know when to pick.
She was making the 17th acre of Chenin Blanc.
Good for her.
Yeah,
Way to
I mean,
be
it's-
progressive.
it's rare. There's a lot more. So that is one of the rarest ones. Also, what Charbonneau I know is like super
Yeah.
rare. But it's
I
so
think
cool.
anything that's not Cabernet.
Right.
is like,
It is nice.
why did you plant this? Like whoever plants something that's not Cabernet in Napa Valley has to, right, have a huge passion for that
Yeah,
varietal.
and justify it to all their friends of why they
Totally,
did it. Yeah.
totally. So I think it's like super aromatic, super floral, lots of pear and quince.
Ooh.
Great.
Yeah, so the Psalms, like when they want to figure out if something's Chenin Blanc,
Uh huh.
like quince paste is their, which is basically a pear. It's a fancy word for
Wow.
a pear,
I
but
was gonna say
that's
I didn't even
what
I
heard
is
that.
haven't
quince
baked with that
paste?
this week, so.
I know where your baked goods. You
Oh
said you
yes,
had
I
them.
have limoncello ricotta cheesecake bars for us
Oh, there you
tonight.
go.
Wow.
It'll go
Man.
great with the Chenin Blanc,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah. What would you pair with this besides Hillary's phenomenal bars?
yeah. I think like grilled fish, those kinds of like light summer tomato salad, prosciutto.
Like a peach caprese salad.
Yeah.
So good.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah, right?
That sounds
With the
really
Chenin,
amazing.
so
yeah.
good.
That's
Yeah,
so
this is my favorite. I made a Marsanne last year,
Mm-hmm.
which is
100% Mars.
100% Marsanne, which I'm just super passionate about Rhone varietals, and a lot of people blend Marsanne away with Roussanne and other varietals, and I got it from the Krupp Brothers Vineyard when they got their new property.
After they sold Stagecoach.
Yeah, exactly. And so they ripped it out and planted Cabernet, so I had to find something else. So thank goodness I found Chenin. But yeah, the Marsanne was super fun as well. There's no more of it. Sold out. Sad times. But the Chenin's super yummy, and that's like, we're almost sold out of it. Cause
it's our, right now, from a business standpoint, it's our fastest selling
It's the fan
wine.
favorite. Like,
Fan
all my
favorite.
club members or my allocation members, they all receive their, like, 3, 6, or 12 bottles and would call me and say, like, hey, it's
I need
COVID,
more
my
of that,
family's
yeah.
over, we drank all of it already
Yeah,
by
like-
the pool, like, send me 4 cases.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, all right, like,
Good customers.
Yeah.
it's
Holy
on the way.
smokes.
So,
That's amazing.
yeah, no, it's super yummy. We're 100% direct to consumer, so it's
Yeah.
been really
And
interesting.
you have a good price point too.
yeah,
Because
with-
you're paying for a good bottle, so it's not like $2 chuck, but it's also not like crazy expensive.
totally
For
like
Napa, no.
Yeah, what
That's
are your
what I
prices
mean.
on the...
So the
Pretty
rosé
close.
is 28,
Cool.
and then the Blanc is 39, and then the Rouge is 49. So it's like
Cool.
goes up in $10 increments. But I wanted it to be really approachable, really friendly, affordable. But like the vineyard that we use for the Rouge and the vineyard that we're going to be using for the rosé, there's wines that come out of there that are all like $75 bottle wines.
Or more. Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I could make them $75, but I want them to be approachable. I want to keep it direct to consumer, and I really want like people to be able to get their hands on this wine. So that was part of the reason we named it Fearless. Not just because I love Taylor Swift. Do love her. Do love her.
Have you
But
gotten her ball yet? You should definitely
we made
do it.
a badass 6 bottle lay down box that had like her face painted on it and on all the bottles, and it had like her label artwork and all this stuff. There's a really cool guy named Blake Jordan who does like glass art for a
Yeah,
lot
he's
of,
actually incredible.
he's amazing, and he does it for like a lot of like auctions and famous people. Anyway, so I had him do it, and I sent it to her house, but I think she had a lot going on. It was for her birthday, her 30th birthday.
That's super
And it's
cool,
at her
yeah.
parents' house right now in Nashville. So I know she's been like in London. She has her boyfriend, and then her mom got sick, and lots of things have happened in her life since then. So I'm
She's
kind of
releasing an album this
Exactly.
week, which
Yeah.
is awesome if anyone hasn't listened to it
Yeah,
yet.
Folklore
I've just been
is, like-
singing to it alone in my room.
but you kind of need like
All
a
the
hot
feels.
cocoa, and you need like to be
Oh.
snuggled. It needs to be raining.
I drink my chamomile tea every night.
I know. You
I'm
have
there.
To, like I'm not.
God, you two are just two peas in a
No,
pod.
Yeah.
I love Taylor Swift. And
Well, I think my favorite story, and we can cut this out too if you want, is how you met her and had her call someone we both know.
No, we are not cutting this out.
And
I need this story.
he thought it was a prank, and like, didn't he hang up?
no, he didn't answer his phone.
That's what I thought.
And it was she left a voicemail like, "Hey, it's Taylor, just like calling you and wanted to check in, blah blah blah." And she like left. It was really cute.
And he deleted it.
Hope you're having the best day ever. And he like deleted it, like thinking like someone pulled a prank on me. I'm super annoyed. Deleted the message. Like called Verizon, tried to like get the message back. Anyway, so that's not why we named it Fearless.
No.
I worked in Bordeaux, then I worked in Australia. I came home, and I worked for Jesse Katz for a little while over in Healdsburg, Sonoma area, and then I worked for Thomas Brown, all while moonlighting Fearless. And I wanted to create Fearless because I wanted something that was for people who are working really hard, working their butts off, just like even if you're in a cubicle, wherever you are, like you're taking the job because you want the connections, you want to work towards your dreams. And for people who are just super passionate about their dreams, sort of paralleled with me.
I was going to say, that's a great representation
Wow.
of you.
Yeah,
Like,
it
as a
was like
person.
me going after my dream because I always knew I wanted to be a winemaker. I always knew this is what I wanted. So it's me going after my dream, but also parallel with people who, sometimes I had a lot of friends in college who were like, should I take this one job that I don't really care about, but I'm going to make a ton of money and it will like be a good lifestyle for me? Or should I take this job where I'm the intern, but I'm working in this really great spot where I want to be in the music industry and I'm going to work with X, Y, and Z, all these people, and I'm not going to make a ton of money, but it's going to get my foot in the door and who knows what can happen, right? And you're like, well, you're not passionate about this one, and like you might be happy for a very short amount of time, or you can work your way up in this industry, and like those connections are going to take you really far.
Yeah, it's huge.
So for me, it was like I want to make wine for those people who are like hungry after their dreams.
I love that.
Awesome.
So we called it Fearless.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And to see all these places you went to like get your training to be able to do this, I mean, that was phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
And the inspiration too.
Italy to
Yeah.
France to Australia, I mean, wow. And the people you worked for, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really
Cool.
fun, and it was such a blessing. And I think that I spent a little bit of time in Provence, and I love Provence rosés. They're mostly like Cinsault, Mourvèdre, and
Yeah.
Grenache. And just Grenache and rosé is like strawberry, just the yummiest with all of the aromatics, and so I was like, it has to be that.
Yeah.
I feel like more kudos to you. Like, I feel like a lot of people grew up here and they do have family wineries they can just go back to, but instead you went and like expanded your learning and like are doing your own project and not relying like on your family loins. Like you really just like expanded
they-
yourself.
I know, they said, they were like, good luck.
They're like, absolutely
I think that's
not.
a testament to you and your family.
I finally
you know?
was like, can I be like the intern at
Could you
least?
get a job there if you
Because-
wanted to? Or would it be
Well-
like, maybe not?
So I was like, can I finally be like, I'd worked in all these places, right? And they all were like, well, what do you do at home? I was like, I don't know. Like, at a certain point, I was like, I helped with like harvest here and there, but like, have I ever really worked there? No, like I was never allowed to.
But I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah,
about
it was
for you
super
and your
cool.
family
It was
because they were
super
kind of like,
cool.
okay, go learn it all and then you can come
still
back.
to this day, I pay my custom crush fees to Custom Crush at Fantasca. Like I like do everything myself.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
incredible.
Yeah, it's good. Sometimes it's frustrating, but usually it's always good, and I'm very proud of that.
Well, I mean, you come from Napa, right? And like, obviously, I don't know the wine business obviously as much as people in this valley, but you think of Napa Valley, you think okay, Cabernet, right? You think of Chardonnay, and Chelsea's out here saying, you know what, I'm gonna break the mold a little bit and do varietals that people love around the world, notoriously love around the world, but I'm gonna do them here in Napa.
Yeah, I made a lot of Grenache in Australia, and a lot of Shiraz, and so because we had a lot of Syrah, it was like, at the end of the day, I do not want to drink Syrah. I want to drink like delicious, friendly, sexy Grenache.
And it's so
love it.
cool because people our age are more into, like, they're not into the cab thing as much. And
Yeah.
It's
No.
kind of an older thing, and people really appreciate these unique kind of different types of grapes, and it's fun. So
Yeah, and with Fearless, you're like, all right, I have the right
Yeah.
to do
Well, and
something.
it's like
different.
good everyday wine, but you're still getting a good quality.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's been
You know,
our
like-
favorite comments from our
Yeah,
the
well, and I
people
feel
who
like,
drink our wine.
yeah, people growing up here, like, you do appreciate a good bottle, but, like, not all of us can spend, the $75, $200 on a good bottle that you want, but now, like, your line is accessible,
Totally. Yeah.
So we can have good wine by the pool, but still
Yeah.
drinking a good rosé.
It's perfect. Yeah, and I definitely drew a lot of inspiration for that from Provence and Loire with the like kind of Vouvray style of Chenin, and then Rhone with the Grenache, and it's been fun.
So have you ever been in the police log?
No, I was just saying to Todd, I was like, I wonder if I have been in the police log.
And you don't
Have you ever
remember?
witnessed anything that has been in the police log?
I'm sure that something like when I was in high school, I'm sure, right?
That you did? I mean, most likely.
But
Had to.
Actually,
I
I
think I
think
would
this-
have no no.
I think I got the
recollection of
one that could have been us.
Let's hear it.
It was a report of a woman sounding very aggressive towards a man near Highway 29 in Ellers Lane. Chelsea's probably yelling at me, but that's okay.
that. Absolutely not.
From Fantasca, they can
From
hear you.
Fantastic, they could hear
At
us.
Ellers Lane.
Well, I feel like this maybe have been near Fantasca. Half a dozen kids were seen swimming in a lower reservoir, possibly after cutting a hole in the fence.
Definitely,
Patient
right
ship
there,
report.
for sure.
That was the spot.
I think we were
Right?
the ones who witnessed that, but I promise you, we didn't tell the police.
We didn't call the police.
Well, I think if that happened, you might, in the COVID era, like what happened on Saturday, June 27th at 3 o'clock, an officer participated in a teen talk with a cop via Zoom. So maybe he cut the hole in the fence and had to have a talking to via Zoom, which, hey, I guess it's a new world.
Someone has one that's a compliment to our police. Do you
Yes.
have one, Chris?
Hold on, let me look.
That is, you know what?
I
is a
feel
good
like that
one.
just
I
like
think that's
warms
important
my
to say,
heart.
yeah.
Yeah. Because yes, we are such a rural area, and we do have
Hell, I think
crime
you
that's
have it.
not necessary. Do I? Probably. That crime that's not like.
You know what? Actually, I think I got it.
Ooh, let's
A
see.
woman was so impressed with St. Helena police that she decided to call them to ask how to contact the Walnut Creek police so that she could report a break-in at her own home. She was that impressed with them.
Well, good for her.
They can fix anything.
Anything.
But I mean, tribute to them because we are such like a kind of quiet area. But when stuff goes down, like I still do feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was in high school. I never looked at the police. Like, I was never afraid of them.
No,
Like, they were
no.
always my buddies.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't know.
Like Officer Sean.
Yeah, I feel like in healthcare too, like that's how I see more of a police force because I worked in the ER prior to moving back. And then I moonlight there still, but that was like my grad school job. And like when the police came in with an individual, like the police needed to be there, and like it made me feel safe that they were there because that person, whether they be on a substance or not in their right mental state, like having that extra personnel there, like little old me is not going to, well, COVID plus a few more pounds, but it's not.
Stop that. Hillary.
Well, there was a man shoplifting not only candy but razor blades from a Main Street store. When employees approached him outside the store, he threw the items at them and left on foot. Store staff said he'd been shoplifting for the past few days. This is the first time they were able to confront him. Police contacted the suspect and told him he was no longer welcome in the store.
Blackballed.
Blackballed.
One.
Razor blades and candy.
What store?
That's
Steve's?
quite a combination.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that
no,
is
no.
a big combo.
Do you think he was
I
the...
think I know this. I'm gonna take a guess on the store. Vascones.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think
Gotta be.
he was the first, second, third, or fourth report of a reckless driver speeding and crossing over double yellows on Highway 20?
I think
He
that
was
you.
trying to get away.
You can't bring my LA angry
I
driver.
told Todd, so when we moved here, I
habits
was
here.
like, babe, you have to be careful how you drive here. Because in LA, I know that you can drive like this and no one knows you. But here, everybody knows it's me.
Exactly.
It took a hard
I was like,
lesson for me to
everybody
learn that the
knows
town
your
is only
car.
a couple thousand people.
I was like, if
Yeah.
you just like cut across somebody, like they're gonna know
Mm-hmm.
that it's me. They're gonna think it's me.
Todd, was this you? At 10:22 in the morning, a car was parked in a red zone on Main Street. When confronted, the driver cursed and refused to move the car.
That was definitely me.
As long as you didn't have a report of your dog in distress in a parked car near Hunt Avenue on Saturday, June 27th. Everything on Hunt Avenue.
I was gonna
Everything's
say,
hunt. Yeah.
I have a hunt. I have a few hunts. One, a Hunt Avenue resident asked to talk to an officer about an ongoing dispute with a neighbor.
Ooh,
Ooh.
not me.
Are you sure?
How about this? A Hunt Avenue father said he would be having a conversation with his teenage son, and he wanted the police to know in case it gets out of hand.
Oh no!
That's a little
I
disturbing.
don't know what's going on. but-
You know,
Get out of hand.
sometimes with boys, you get, men sometimes
Yeah.
need to hash things
we
out
need some
physically.
wall-to-wall counseling.
And
Wall-to-wall. That's Army. Yeah, that's straight
Oh.
Army. Yeah.
Well, so have you guys heard of the Hunt Avenue store? A
no.
lot of crime goes down at the Hunt Avenue store. 2 teens shoplifted a 12-pack of Bud Light and a 12-pack of Smirnoff Ice
Is it
from a
Safeway?
Hunt Avenue store. Sure is.
You know what the best part of that would have been? Is if they had left 2 Smirnoff Ice for the police coming after him. Just to
Yeah,
ice them.
Okay, guys, before you arrest me.
Before you get me.
I got you.
I got
Real
you.
please.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh goodness. Oh, you guys, the policeman I do have that did such a good job. A caller said he wanted the police chief to know he has a great police officer working for him.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's
it's
very
about
sweet.
5 minutes delayed, but I'm there.
That's cute.
That's
Nicely
good.
done. Nicely done.
They deserve
Is
that.
that a current one?
This is current.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
That's very sweet. I don't know who it was, but thank you.
Positive reports.
Yeah, we like our St. Helena police.
Absolutely.
But on Monday, June 15th, there were 3 gunshots. Oh wait, maybe they were fireworks. We're north of Beach York Lane.
I have no idea who that might have been either.
Nope, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Do you guys frequent Junies at all?
Yes.
Yeah, do I?
You know, I'm wondering if this was about this, but on what date was this? I think it was June 17th at 3:20. a woman named Karen who frequents a local deli was there refusing to wear a mask.
That's nice they put her name in there.
It is very nice. It's a very important detail.
Definitely Karen.
Oh, what about this may have been a Karen? Report of a vehicle horn sounding constantly in the post office parking lot. She wanted her mail.
Oh my god. Oh, I love it.
I didn't even know
Have
that.
you ever had anyone so angry to get Fearless wine that they like sent you a nasty, not nasty, but like a very direct email, like, I want my wine. I am so in need of it. Like, what's the level
What
of
about the
fandom?
gal?
I think
The Miami or the Florida person.
no,
Florida.
the guy.
Florida
Always,
definitely.
always Florida.
Always Florida. No, one of your dad's coworkers during COVID was like, "Give me the sweet nectar of the gods."
Yes, they called it the sweet nectar of the gods.
Like, I need it now
Nice.
because
He said
COVID.
it is a
COVID's
life and
been
death
a tough
situation.
time for
Yeah.
people. That they're like, actually, it's been good for the wine industry. I
It's
think.
great. And especially a business model like yours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
direct.
all
consumer.
direct, and it's over the internet. And
Yeah.
So we run a lean business, but
Cool. And how do you do like marketing? How is that, like, what's your marketing plan for it? I'm
all-
learning about all this. so,
Yeah.
like,
Chelsea is a very nice has a very nice design focus. I think she's got a better talent for it than I think she gives herself credit for. But the wine itself speaks for itself.
Mhm.
So it's been
Thus
really
far,
all word of mouth.
Yeah, thus far it's been all organic, like
Cool.
all, Facebook, Instagram, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Just recently we rebuilt the website. We launched it last week.
cool.
So really super exciting. We're now on Shopify.
Cool.
So you can like Apple Pay, buy the wine. It's just like
So much
Super
easier
easy.
a
for
breath
customers.
of fresh air. It's the way that it should be
Right.
with this type of brand and what I want our consumers to be able to have. They should have that accessibility, and I think sometimes the wine industry is a little bit like caught in this old school world where we need to catch up and be on the modern
Yeah.
trends. So
Especially if that's who you're selling it to. It's like,
exactly, and
People who are
like
tech
young
savvy. Yeah.
professionals, right? And so they want to be able to just Apple Pay, boom, like
Get their wine
Get the
24
wine.
to 48 hours
Yeah.
later. And
nice.
so we ship everywhere, which is really nice. Besides Mississippi and Utah.
Of course. Everyone has that same
There
problem.
you go.
God bless prohibition.
Yeah, there you go. That's the United States for you. But it's been really great, and so we're gonna do a little bit more marketing, play with that a little bit more now with the new website and everything. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited.
yeah, it's been fun. I mean, the wine, luckily, people have just talked about it kind of
Yeah.
via friends and referred friends. And
It's super fun with Fearless. I feel like a lot of people give it, a lot of like women entrepreneurs, because it has a sort of entrepreneurial background, and so a lot of people give it as gifts for work events and things. But also, like, I've had a lot of members who give it to like their parents who might be going through like chemotherapy treatment or something that's like really special for them, and they like open it when they're finally like 100% free,
Cool.
things like that. So I think
Yeah.
Fearless means a lot of things to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most rewarding thing about being a winemaker and being in the wine industry is really like when you get the text messages when it's like, it's our anniversary, we're opening a bottle, right? And, or like, hey, I just found out from the doctor I'm 100% cancer free and I'm opening a bottle of Fearless to celebrate,
Wow.
right? And like those moments are like, this is why you do it.
Yeah.
So that's just the coolest,
yeah.
I think the coolest part of the whole thing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think our last order was a guy who bought wine for a colleague who was retiring. Just said thank you for being a fearless leader for
yeah.
us.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it was just like so emblematic of their relationship together from a work standpoint. So it's really
Yeah,
neat.
and it's fun, and it's fun that they know like it's always going to taste. Every bottle I open, it's going to taste great, and every, it's going to be the perfect way to celebrate, and it's fun to see that everyone's found their own meaning in it. So
That's really cool.
yeah,
And this last bottle we're on, the Rouge.
Rouge. Yeah, everyone gets. You did a good job.
It's not the Rogue. It's
Yeah,
the Rouge.
yeah. People get like stuffed. Like they're like, what is that? Rogue?
Like the police lock if people go rogue.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm
Should
like,
we-
it's just red and French.
Maybe the St. Helena police department should purchase a lot of this, and then they can be like, thanks for going rogue, and give it to people as they leave the jail.
That would be the most Napa Valley thing to happen.
It would be the most Napa Valley
That would
thing
be the
ever.
most Napa
It's like
Valley
when you
thing.
fly into Napa and they give you a bottle of wine with each fill up of your,
Yeah,
of your
exactly.
helicopter. It's like,
That's
this is a great deal.
awesome.
Yeah.
They
Do
do that?
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of wine?
It's not fearless.
It's not fearless.
But
Fair
that's
enough.
a kind gesture.
That's really
It's nice
cool.
of them, yeah. It's
Maybe
all-
I'm gonna
yeah,
market
it's
to
about
them
the
like,
gesture.
hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should market because, like, this person could have probably used some wine, or maybe they had too much wine. Report of a man carrying a knife and talking incoherently on Main/Spring at 5 p.m. on an afternoon. I think he was trying, you know those wine openers, I can't think of the technical term, where it's like the two prongs on each side?
Also,
Do you know
The
what I'm talking
also?
about?
Yeah.
Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
mhm.
So I think he was just trying to open a bottle of wine. And it got a little...
A little carried away
A
there.
little intense.
And then he couldn't open it, so he was incoherent about the whole
he
situation.
was angry.
And Main Spring is like very close to where we're recording, and he was just trying to get that bottle of Goose to have with his dinner.
That's
Is that a good theory?
entirely plausible.
Definitely plausible.
I think
The
that's what-
Mythbusters would say, yeah, plausible.
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 I think that's what happened.
High
actually.
probability of occurrence.
Most likely.
I don't know if that's what they would say, but that's what I would say.
Exactly.
Oh dear, this
Sure.
one is not a good thing.
No.
This is from 2006.
Okay.
A female was cited for misuse of a disabled person's placard while in the parking lot at Main Mitchell. That's like
kinda-
literally.
That's
what-
bad karma.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
yeah, that's
bad
bad
karma.
karma.
It
yeah.
was confiscated and returned to the DMV.
Good.
I don't mean to bring it up, but a long time. So I went to UCLA. I played football there, and there was this big scandal in like the 1990s
Huh.
about UCLA football players using disabled placard cards
No
to
way.
like park in special areas.
You were not one of them.
I was not one of them. That was many years after I was there, but that's what that reminds me of.
So
Bad karma.
Well, and,
And
Sac
then
at
we
Sac State,
proceeded to not do well for the next like decade.
Karma,
and I blame
yeah.
that totally.
Sac State had the same, a similar problem where they would spray their football players down with Pam so they could be easily sneak away from a tackle.
I'm gonna be completely.
It was a
honest.
big
Oh my
scandal.
God,
I
was
didn't
it?
even
It
know
was
you
called-
guys had a football team.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think I went to one game. It was Pamgate. So.
Oh
Pamgate,
my
yeah,
god! I
spraying out
didn't even
Pam.
know that.
Yeah.
We like to play the game of Where Were You?
Oh gosh.
So
yeah.
June 2006. Where was everybody?
June 2006.
I'm the old one.
So I'm gonna say June 2006.
I was in college. So.
I was
I
a
was-
sophomore in high school, I think.
I was in high school. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just commissioned. I was in the army by then. Yeah. I was at
2006?
Fort Sill, Oklahoma. It was the hottest summer I can remember in my life.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
Is it humid too?
Yeah, it was everything.
Okay.
Was I about to move to?
Yeah, you were in Minnesota still.
No, I would have moved in 07, summer of 07.
Oh yeah, you were in Minnesota in
So
June.
I
of
was like
06.
happily in Minnesota, not thinking we were moving at all.
Dancing away.
Dancing
Doing
away.
stuff.
That's probably what I was
So-
doing.
Good times.
Phenomenal.
Who would have thought freshman year of high school I'd be here making this podcast now?
Who would have thought? We've
This
really
place
come
is
a,
a br- I
a
will
long
be
way.
honest. St. Helena is a very special place.
It
Like,
really
It
is.
is-
It's so interesting. Like,
It's eclectic. I
There's
feel like I say that
so-
every time.
yeah,
but
there's so many people who, like, I feel like grow up here and they don't realize how special it is. They want to get away, and then they get away,
and then they always come back.
they realize, wow, this is like such a unique, really awesome.
I have
town.
like distinct memories of us chatting. Like at one point, I was like, "I'm never coming back," and then I remember having this conversation with you, and you're like, "No, I'm never coming back to St. Helena." Like, no, why would I do that? And now both of us are here.
I was so angry because in the yearbook, I was like one nomination away from being nominated. I ended up being nominated like most spirited or something, but I
I
was
got that award too.
Yeah, but I was one
I'm
nomination
Not a spirited person, but
one nomination away from being voted like most likely to move back to St. Helena. And I was so angry because I was obviously like, I love St. Helena. Everyone knew that I love St. Helena because I was not from here. And then I came in and I realized like, well, this place is really cool and really special. Nobody understands how great they have it.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone knew that about me, that I was like, go St. Helena. So that's why I would
you
have
were
been
also
voted
a
at.
cheerleader.
Yeah,
so
duh, but I was the captain for 3 years, so I knew, duh. But at the same time, to me, that award was like, you failed, right? Like, you, like, have to come back home because you didn't make it in the real world.
Do you want me to make you feel better? Do you know what I got in high school?
Tell me.
So we're at this assembly, and I hear this announcement. I'm like, oh my God, I won Best Dressed. Like, dream come true. Like, I got Best Dressed in high school. Nope, I got Most Stressed.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Wait, did you hear it as best dressed?
Oh,
And I keep
my
down and
goodness.
I look at the certificate. I'm like,
Most stressed.
Most Stressed.
Did they announce it?
Not
Like,
Best Dressed. Okay.
they
Why do you
announce it in
think I am
assembly?
always buying new sunglasses? I'm trying to like achieve that Best Dressed still. to
hey,
this
you
day.
are best dressed.
Thank
Come on,
you.
that you win that award.
And I still win Most Stressed.
We will post a
Most
picture of Hillary's outfit tonight. Just for the simple fact that we are proud of her for not spilling wine on herself yet.
I don't know if
Not
Tom
yet.
would have allowed you to win best dressed.
Probably not, but like Most Stressed. Like, was I that stressed of a high school student?
Yeah, you
were
were
just-
going to be a doctor.
Yeah, you were really smart, and
You're
everyone
like, I am
knew
going to
like
be a doctor in
I'm
10
not-
years.
Oh, dear.
Hillary cares about her grades.
Yeah.
She's really smart.
I don't
You were
think I
most
was
stressed
that.
in high school, but you might be also the most successful, so
There you go.
I mean, debatable.
It's worked out for you.
it's worked out.
It's worked out,
Let's
but
say
still
that.
Most Stressed. Like, that's not cute.
But now, are you stressed? No.
Have you seen me some mornings?
You grow tomatoes in your backyard. You are not stressed.
Yeah, I think it's worked out for you, Hillary. I always think about these things, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I almost won. Most likely to come home to St. Helena,
But look,
never
you
leave.
came
I think
home.
it was never leave St. Helena.
Chelsea, but the people weren't wrong.
No, I'm never
We're
leaving.
here.
I'm like looking for a house. Like goodness
I keep
gracious.
telling you guys, I have a guest bedroom. I don't know why you don't move in.
I know. Todd and I are gonna take those trundles over real quick. You got top, I got bottom, right?
No, they
Thanks,
can be
babe.
the same level.
Oh, it flips up.
And it pops up and it's the same
You
level.
definitely
Oh
gotta
my
take
God.
the less strong
And
one.
the
I weigh
one
Yeah,
twice
I'll
has
as
a
take
much
the
better
as you.
trundle.
mattress
I'll take
than
the
the other.
trundle.
Because the one mattress I bought like in grad school and the new one I bought like in my current
Craigslist?
job. No, I've never bought a mattress off Craigslist.
I don't know.
How about the frame? The,
By the way,
pop.
Good dude.
Someone stole
dude. 4
4 garden hoses from Scott Street. One.
stole?
Why do you have 4 garden hoses? Like, I have one, and then I have, like, an extension. So I guess that's 2. So I guess if, because, you know,
How big is this house on Scott Street?
I can't
needs to
even.
be a
It's gotta be
mansion.
like Meadowwood.
You know what?
That's
Now
four,
now I
4
understand.
hoses.
Now I understand why the police would have to respond to a physical altercation, arresting a 34-year-old man on suspicion of stealing a garden hose.
Oh, so wait, whoa, this comes full
Oh.
circle.
Yes.
Oh.
Now
Full
it all makes sense.
Circle.
But, like, I'm gonna be honest. Garden hoses are, like, $8. Like, you're really fine on police
Are they
report?
really $8?
Apparently,
just
to
went to Home Depot.
34-years-olds, garden hoses are a very important
Very
piece of the
critical.
home.
Yeah, that was not me. I went to Home Depot. Just
You
to,
should get a high quality garden hose at Steve's Hardware, who is not yet a supporter of 911, but we're
but
hoping
you could be a sponsor.
to get them to sponsor us.
Actually, I do love Steve's.
Steve's
I
is
think we
phenomenal.
probably talked about this often, but I like when you go in there, unlike Home Depot, that they ask you what you need right away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I feel like
love
Home
that.
Depot,
Yeah.
I'm like wandering
They just look
around.
at
I'm
you.
like, obviously, I'm in a pair of heels right now. Do I look like I belong?
Yeah,
here?
like
No.
obviously I don't know.
Like
where
I like
the
to think
item
I'm a
is.
fix-it woman, but like my skills only go so far.
Oh, I went into Steve's. We were in the middle of bottling,
and they
and I ran
ask
out of
you
glue
right
sticks,
away.
and I ran in there like I have 18 people waiting for me on these glue sticks for the wax medallion that goes on top of the bottle. I'm paying them for their time. I'm like right here. I'm like they're like, what do you need? I'm like I need glue sticks.
And they just
Right here.
And they're like right here. I'm like great. I'll buy them all. I don't care that they're like $5 more than a normal store. Like you helped me, and I need them now.
well, and they
And
do.
it worked perfect.
I went down there recently. I forget what I was looking for, something random, but I had time to kind of peruse the store, which I typically don't do. They have so much more than I ever realized. They have like those. So I'm a little OCD.
Steve's?
Yeah, and I love like clear organizers for every drawer and shelf that I own.
Mm-hmm.
They have clear organizers at Steve's.
Oh my gosh.
One stop shop.
But really, and then they have that whole cooking area for Le Creuset, and then they
Oh,
have
at
like
the homewares.
yes,
Oh,
like,
don't get me started on the homewares. The cookbooks in there.
yes.
Here's what I realized about small towns. If you name your store Steve's Hardware, it's a good store. It's
It
got everything you need. If you
It
name it like some fancy schmancy name and you're in a small town, It's a piece of shit.
And
Don't
Steve
buy-
still
don't buy
has
stuff
charge
there.
accounts, which is my favorite thing.
So cute.
Because sometimes, oops, the nails I bought ended up on my dad's account. My bad.
There you go. It's perfect. My mom
Thanks,
and I go
Tom.
in there every
Thanks,
summer
Tom.
and we make jam.
Did you get your
And-
jars there?
Yeah, we get all the jars there. They have the pectin there.
And
have everything.
they
you
even
need
have
in
like
there.
Yeti cups. Like they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
like those trendy things. And you know what? Shout out to Steve's is so wonderful that I had this Secret Santa gift and there was this Yeti cup and I lost it. Like our Secret Santa is very cutthroat and some years I don't come out on top, which is frustrating for me. But they special ordered me the color of the Yeti cup I wanted.
No, they didn't.
They did.
Yeah, they'll special order anything.
Yeah.
Same with Sunshine. Let me tell you, there's a sparkling water, Canada Dry, that my mother likes. And they special order it for Susan, and she buys it. And one time she went in there, other people in the town like it, sold out.
Go figure.
Sold
They learned
out.
something.
Yep.
Do you guys have Fearless at Sunshine also?
Yeah, it's at
Cool.
Sunshine.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's at Sunshine.
That's
It's at
my
Goose and
neighborhood
Gander by the
market.
glass.
Goose and Gander by the
Those
glass.
are the only places, by the way, we allow it because we.
Yeah, I only
want
like
to
attract the
it
consumer,
to
but St. Helena
go.
will support.
Yeah, I only like it to go into the places that
You shop it?
we frequent. Yeah.
Well, that's because it can get a little feisty on Main Street.
Apparently.
That's true.
At 8:40 in the morning, a caller reports a can of kerosene and cups in front of a business in the 1300 block of Main Street.
Kerosene.
Isn't that like flamer fluid?
Flamer fluid? Yes, Hillary.
Yes.
It's
This is
Like
Yeah.
Fluid that causes a
Miranda
flame.
Lambert would say.
well, I mean, on Wednesday, June 3rd, at 4:30 in the afternoon, a man sitting in his car on Main Street was relaxing and using his phone when a store owner came out and yelled at him to leave and threatened to call the police.
That is very detailed.
wow.
It's a very intense.
Yeah, we couldn't find out about the metal pipe.
No,
No.
not the metal pipe, but there was a very detailed.
I don't know if that metal pipe was like a pole vaulting.
That's what
Pipe.
I'm
Trying to
wondering.
envision.
Like
I don't think it was a
flagpole.
blind person. This is my favorite log of the entire thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Complaints of a subject selling ice cream from a truck on Pope Street. Come to my house. I will never call the cops on you. I will support you daily.
Someone called the cops on an ice cream truck.
Like you don't. Well,
Who
okay.
calls a cops
They
on
need
an
to
ice
move
cream
out of
truck?
St.
It
Helena.
didn't necessarily specify ice cream truck.
Was
it
it
just said
actual ice
ice cream from a truck.
All right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So-
If that's the case,
Fair enough.
It was a sketchy truck.
It was
You know, it
probably a
didn't
sketchy
say.
van.
Have you considered a
with no
Fearless
windows.
wine van? Like a roach coach for Fearless.
You know what? I would love to get like a VW bus van.
Cool. Get the monogram on the side.
Yeah.
But if
pretty
you
cool.
have a van,
or
you
like an
can't-
Airstream.
Yeah.
you can't take it over Pope Street Bridge.
No.
It would be trendy, but it would. I've heard that like you're not allowed to park that anywhere.
Mm.
Oh, because you could have a vehicle versus street sign. That's literally how it's worded.
Oof.
That's what it says. What does it say?
Vehicle versus street sign on Pope Street Bridge.
So they hit each other.
The street sign.
The
and
street
the
sign
vehicle.
jumped out. So if we want to buy some of this amazing Fearless, this sweet nectar of the gods, where do we go?
You can go to fearlesswines.com, or you can follow us on Fearless Wines on Instagram, or Fearless Wines on Facebook.
We don't have a Twitter, do we?
We have a Twitter, Fearless
Oh.
Wines on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
We have everything. We got a Pinterest, Fearless Wines on Pinterest.
So we know where to find you. Definitely go check out fearlesswines.com, the Instagram, the Twitter, the podcast, the
Pinterest.
all of the things.
On our podcast.
And where
And
where
your
can
podcast.
where can you find us, Hillary Hoppy?
So you can find us at 911 Podcast on Instagram.
We're not yet tweeting, thank God.
We don't tweet because I don't know how to tweet, and I only have so much in my time in my day to learn new skills.
And all I do, again, to refresh all of our visitors, I only show up to record.
He does
Hillary
a-
does all of the work.
He does a lot more than that.
Therefore, I
but
can't
he's
be
just
blamed.
embarrassed to share it. So yes, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify and iTunes.
Holy smokes.
We also have a BuzzFeed website, which will link you to all of our streaming bases, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
I don't know what that means.
You can find on our Instagram too. We try to post when we're posting new episodes. We post awkward text conversations between Chris and I about when
True.
I actually utilize the police log, like calling Public Works.
Public Works.
So
Public Works.
Help us, Public
stay
Works, help
tuned. And
Awesome.
new guests coming, and that's
And cheers to our 10th episode.
Yes.
Chelsea, Todd.
Congrats, you
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Awesome
Awesome.
podcast.
All right, well, that wraps up another episode of 911 Wine.
And remember, guys, stay out of the police log. And if you can't be good, be careful.
You enjoy your evening and be safe.